There we go. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I was reading the chat, got caught up, forgot that I'm going to do this. So, um, I love reading. We're on YouTube and we're on Rumble, and the Island Girl's starting already. You starting already, girl? Anyway, a couple of things. I mean, at the beginning here, there's not a lot of people on, so I'm gonna say it again at the end because I got a couple of major things that I want to talk to you guys about. Um, the first thing is obviously, and a lot of you have already done it, just the Unchained Soul, August, and they're putting it in the chat. Karen's putting it in the chat. If you want the first chapter sent to you, so you get a real flavor for the book. This book is probably going to be our Hallmark book, if you know what I mean. I don't mean Hallmark like Hallmark movie. I mean like premiere. This is the calling God called us to. And saying that, you don't want to miss Solomon's Porch on Sunday. Dennis and I were just talking about it. Whoa, whoa, whoa. But I digress. If you want, go to the gatheringmovement.org, right here, gatheringmovement.org, and on top it says Unchained Soul. Sign up. Just go, give me your name, email. You're not going to hear from me. I don't respond back, but you're going to go on a list. And on August 24th, I got to check. Karen posted August 24th, Monday, August 24th. You will get the first chapter emailed to you, okay? And then the following Monday, during that day, you will get a Zoom link sent to you. And that night at 7 p.m. Eastern, we are going to have a Zoom webinar, private. I'm not even going to record it. Like, it's going to be private, okay? We're going to talk about the book. We're going to talk about things that we don't talk about on the air. And also, then you'll be able to ask questions. Then what's going to happen is, I believe it's Tuesday, September 15th. Please don't hold me to that date. But if September 15th is a Tuesday, then that is the day that the book will drop on Amazon for digital and softcover as well. Okay, so join us for those two things. Get that free first chapter. Now, the other thing I have to make an announcement about is TikTok. So let me tell you what happened. I'm enjoying myself. I'm having a good time. You guys know why I went over there. I went over there because we don't have Joy in Country anymore, and I'm not about to start doing all the stuff. I can't. I can't do the, buy silver and go here. I can't do it. I don't have a problem if people can do it. That's fine. I can't do it. Neither can Dennis. So here's the deal. I went to TikTok because I'm like, okay, we can have some fun. We can chat. There's things that I love that you could buy, and we'll make a little percentage. And so I'm like, okay, then we'll do that. We'll do that until Joy in Country, if I'm praying, comes back. So I did that. And it was fun. And I was supposed to make eggplant parm, and the oil is connected to my platform over there, and the in the wheat mill and all this stuff. But this is what has happened in the last 2 days. I put up a post, and I'm not going to go live. Look, I'm not going to go live and start hawking clothes. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. It's just not me. And I'm not going to do it. So that's not my calling, and it just ain't going to happen. So I put up a picture of an outfit that I have, that I had AI put the whole thing together on me, and I posted it. But what happened was AI made it, at the end, I smile, and you can go over there and look at it. So after day before yesterday, I get a strike, an 8-point violation because I said, look in the bio and you'll figure out to someone how to get this stuff with the little pocketbook. Violation. They made me take a test to get back on. Then I said something like, hello. I mean, I'm serious. And it wasn't the right way. They like a certain thing done a certain way. And it was a violation. I had to take another test. No, Esther, I'm very serious. I woke up this morning, okay, and I got another violation. This violation was because the little video I made out of the AI thing, at the end I feel like I'm like this over there. Like, you can't move here, you can't move there. So I'm done. I'm probably, I may go on, I may still go on. I'm going to still post some things for fun. I may go on just to have some fun with you guys back and forth because it was fun. But I'm not dealing with them. As I said, that's why I stopped using TikTok. I got back on to follow you. Still stay with me because I'm still going to maybe do a live here and there. I'm going to post some funny stuff. But that's not where it is tyrannical. So I got something else in the works. Okay, someone wrote to me and said, you could do this for a fundraiser, and I'm looking into it. So it may be better. You know what I mean? Like TikTok may have done me a massive favor. So thank you, TikTok, for being like, I'm not kidding you, bad. Like big, huge things. Violation. I'm like, violation? I couldn't say, go look in my bio. Could you imagine this? You cannot say that. So I'm done with taking tests and not passing them and have to take it again. I don't have time. I'm in a higher realm, TikTok. So I don't know. And I was told it got worse when America got involved and ended up part of TikTok. It was easier with just China. Go figure that one out. But that's not what I'm here for. Okay, so this is an interesting one, and I'll tell you how it happened. It's called Poisoned by Permission. So what does that mean? It means basically that the government is allowing things that are poisoning the population, and we're giving them permission to do it. That's basically what this means. So how did this happen? Well, as I'm sitting here rocking, I feel like I'm in my living room. I love this now. I love you seeing part of my office. What happened was Dennis and I were grocery shopping. Do you ever go grocery shopping and the person in front of you, you look at what they bought? Not to judge them, but you just like how different people eat. And Dennis and I are like, as organic as we can get. And, we eat nothing in bags, nothing processed. We just don't. So what happened was we came from that store, and I started going online and checking out a couple of the things that the people were buying. And it was very obvious that they thought what they were buying was safe. It wasn't like, oh, I'm buying this, and if I eat it, I'm going to get sick. No, it wasn't that at all. They're sticking it in the thing, it was amazing to me. And I looked in the back of me, and another person was doing the same thing. Same cart, same stuff. See, they really do believe that if it's on a shelf in a grocery store, not everybody, not a lot of the hip people that are on here, but I'm doing this so you can share this on your YouTube channel, on your X channel. I'm doing this because there's a lot of people that won't watch this, and I'm looking at the numbers much less than normal. And why? Do you want to know why? Because people don't want to be convicted. They don't want to know. Because maybe they don't feel strong enough to make the change. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I don't, I don't judge it. I just know that this is when I start talking about health, and I'm not going down any other road, but uh, mostly pesticides. Okay, so how did I get on this pesticides kick? So let me tell you. You guys know I'm all about, LifeWave X39. You know that. It is our main fundraiser right now. And so uh, that is, and if you're interested, and again, this is not about that. Okay, so please don't think it is. You can go to takingbackourhealth.com and I'll send you information about that. That's another whole thing. But because of that, and wearing it and looking into it and the whole thing and what it's doing for us, we are now taking heavy metal tests, which changed, fungus tests changed because of that, but the pesticides did not. Pesticides did not. So I go to someone, and he's actually a triple board certified cardiologist that is kind of gave that up and is now a functional practitioner. And I go to him and he explained to me, and I've said this before, that many of the people that are coming to him, including himself, that his pesticides are through the roof when you get them checked, is because of living where we're living. I live in an HOA that everybody's doing their lawns. We rent. So the person here, what am I going to do? Tell them, don't you do your lawn, let it go to garbage or whatever, or use organic, can't do it. So we're in a situation where there are golf courses everywhere. And he said, it doesn't matter. You use a sauna, you eat well, everything you do, because all you're doing is you're running in place. It's like being on a treadmill. We're never going to get rid of it, which is why we're looking to move in the spring. We're not going to stay here. Not sure we're staying in Florida. I'm not sure what we're going to do. The fact that Jenna is dealing with what she's dealing with because she lived in a house with black mold, and because of ours with the fire, and now she's 2 miles from us and is getting assaulted with pesticides, and her body's unable to get rid of things because of what she was assaulted with. We all have to get out of here. Now, I don't know where to go. There's no blue zones in this country. Okay? There is none. Now, I'm gonna just, this for a little aside. If any of you know of any place in the country, I mean any place, and if my family wasn't in this country and I didn't have any children and grandkids, I would end up in either Italy or a place like that where they're banned, food from the United States is banned. I would end up not in this country because of what we're dealing with. It hit our family very hard, and hit Dennis and I very hard when we looked into what our bodies really are dealing with. So I said all that to say this. I felt that this had to be a warning today. And before I say anything else, let me continue. My ADHD guys, I know you bear with me. Let me finish my last sentence. If you guys know of any place in this country that is very healthy, has control of their pesticides, it's kind of, we like more of a humid environment. We don't like dry. So that kind of rules out some of the West. But a place that really has control of their pesticides, I don't know if there's many, because Monsanto and the other companies that manufacture this have made, Florida's one of them, have made the government sign and they put it in law that counties and townships cannot change their pesticides routine because it's against the law. You believe that? So if the town I'm in wanted to stop pesticides on public land, they could not, because Florida signed it. there are 40 states. I got to look up which ones that actually is part of this, or 37. I'm looking for the other ones that are not. Okay. Anyone have any information on this? Write to me, please. Delora at DeloraOBrien.com. We are looking every day. Yeah, I understand that California, I can't afford California. I can't, I just can't afford it. I love it. I can't afford it. I'm not crazy about, what's going on there. So I can't go there. But if you guys look and you have anything, please let me know. Okay, it'd be muchly appreciated. Okay, so let's go. Let's go to the right here. Delora at DeloraOBrien.com. So the illusion of safety. Okay, many people believe that if the government puts it out, it's safe. If the FDA approves it, it's safe. If the EPA approves it, it's safe. But approval is not what we consider approval, okay? Approval is it met the current regulatory standard, okay? So those two things are not identical. What we consider safe and trust the government to consider safe is not the same thing. They're two completely different things. They're not identical at all. And history has taught us that FDA approval means zero. And many times, if the FDA doesn't approve it, it kind of feels safer. Sad, but true. Same thing with the EPA. Now, the government does change their mind. Cigarettes. But let me tell you something about cigarettes, okay? They knew, everyone, when I say they, everyone, the government, scientists, the companies, all knew cigarette smoking was bad for you when they were doing it. Now, remember Marlboro Man? Macho, got the cigarette. You want to look like a Marlboro Man? Then you smoke, baby. These things have killed, my brother-in-law being one of them, more people because of money, because of making, whatever it is. It's always down to power, greed, mammon, money. They changed their mind on DDT. Okay? That DDT was illegal. Then it was illegal. Now it's legal. Then it's illegal. Glyphosate. It was legal. Then it was illegal. Now it's legal again. Why? Because of lobbyists. Yes, because of lobbyists. Leaded gasoline. Asbestos. It was fine before. Not an issue. Certain pharmaceuticals were okay. Then they're withdrawn. Look, approval is not the same as health. Sometimes it's actually the opposite. So what about the warning label that isn't there? This is where my research is going to come in. So let me read this. According to a 2026 analysis, thousands of pesticide products contain ingredients associated by EPA classifications with varying, this is the EPA, varying levels of cancer concern, yet only a small number reportedly carry explicit cancer warnings. So, if the government already recognizes a concern about certain ingredients, why don't they let consumers know? Lobbyists. Why don't they let us know it's unhealthy and ban it? Lobbyists. Your congressman gets lobbied. And the sad thing is, the few people that were really bringing up things and wanting the proof of things are no longer there. People from both sides of the aisle. So here's an interesting thing I called the chemical cocktail. Imagine baking just with flour, all by itself. Do you have anything? No. What about if you have sugar? All you got is sugar. What about eggs, butter? You go on and on. None of it is, you have an egg, you got sugar, but you put it all together, you add a little bit of baking powder, and you have a cake. See, because together, everything changes. That's how toxicologists describe mixtures. Safety testing will say, this is safe. This is safe. You put them together, it's explosive in your body. When we had the fire in our home, it was a dryer fire in 2002. We went back in and our house, and it took months and months. They remediated it, okay? And what they did to get rid of certain, on the walls, to get rid of certain chemicals and whatever, is they added things that the people that were doing it and hired by the insurance company did not know that this with this created. They didn't know that. So they put one thing on the wall and then they put another thing on the wall. And those two things mixed. When we went back in, we couldn't smell it right away. 1 month later, half of my hair fell out. Literally lost half of my hair. Dennis was here, pastors, he's in bed. Couldn't do anything he had to do. For a month, could not get out of bed. It was our daughter's middle school graduation that dragged us out of the house. Very, very, very sick. We went to an environmental doctor. We had our house air checked. We moved out, ended up moving in with our daughter. And you know what he said? He said, you have chemical soup in your home. Chemical soup. We went to an environmental doctor. Our DNA was mutated. Hence, look at Jenna right now. Do you understand? This is why we've got to find a clean place. Got to find a clean place. We were already dealing behind the 8 ball because of what we dealt with in 2002. Our bodies encounter these combinations of multiple pesticides through lawns and parks, golf courses, household products, drinking water. Whether these create greater effects together, there's no research on. They're not called to do mixture testing. They're called to do testing one by one. So, what has happened? The government has regulatory gaps because of this stuff, legal loopholes, lobbyists. They're missing safety data. Because why? Because they're looking at this. They're not looking at that. They're looking at this. The front. They're not looking at what could happen with everything together. When you drink the water you drink, when you go on the grass and your babies are crawling along on your lawn and nobody washes it off, and then they eat with their hands food and it goes in. Listen, we're being assaulted right now, especially in this country. What is sad is I have friends that moved to Mexico and all of a sudden got so much healthier. Very, very sad. Very sad. You know, you love your country. And it's so very, 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 very sad. The EPA, they have an approved chemicals list that are safe. But there are blind spots. Because who's saying that the guy that, in the written, like the big jugs that pesticide companies get, it's written on the back. Do you think anybody's going to read that? Make sure you don't combine this with this. Make sure you don't combine that with that. No, it's the same thing that happened with cigarettes. The EPA has cancer warnings on 98% of the pesticides used. On the back of the jug. Who reads that? Who reads it? No one. But that protects them. They can't be sued. See, look, the agency, the EPA and the FDA, okay, especially the EPA, what they've done is they've classified ingredients as probable, likely, possible, or it could be a suggestive carcinogen. So the likely carcinogen loophole, okay, out of 125 active ingredients linked to cancer, 119 of them carry no warning labels. Some of them are in our food, some of them are. Even you wash them off, it's stuck. Chemicals are stuck, they stick. We have planes flying overhead, trucks going down your street in the middle of the night, spraying. Stuck, they stick. There are many ways to get it off. I'm going to give you, I'll end up on hope. Many ways to get things off. In fact, honey, I know you're watching this. But if you got a second in a little bit, maybe you can get the stuff we use in the kitchen. So anyway, the chemical companies, major chemical companies, have aggressively pushed for federal protections. That's why the vast majority of the states in the United States actually signed into law that the townships and the counties cannot change anything. So if a county is not able without this state, and Florida is one of it. Florida is part of it. It's really incredible. It's incredible. And you want to know what is the sad thing? Don't kill me for saying this. Just go look it up. Most of the red states are the ones that signed that. I'm sorry, guys. It's true. Most of the red states are the one. Thank you, baby. I'll show this later. So, see, the regulatory process relies heavily on safety data that is provided by the chemical companies themselves. You know what it's like? It's like you go to a restaurant, okay, and you get food poisoning. And then you tell the restaurant, and they say, oh, no, it couldn't have been us. We have an A rating. Well, who gave you the A rating? Oh, we did. We check ourselves. That's what that's like. That's not like. So the companies that make billions and billions of dollars off of pesticide use are the ones that check themselves to make sure they're using pesticides. Isn't that interesting? I find it really interesting. Government safety thresholds are calculated based on an isolated single chemical exposure. So the EPA, the FDA, all of these things, oh, that didn't give anyone, so we're good. So a single piece of produce can carry multiple different chemicals combined that is dangerous, but each one by themselves is not. But then there's the inert carriers. That's what I like. You know what inert is? It's that they're intentionally added substances that they don't even have to say, like solvents, emulsifiers, that do not kill the target pests themselves, but help deliver the chemical into the ground and into the plant. Isn't that nice? See, these inert ingredients are in almost everything, even some organic. Now, listen, organic doesn't mean 100%, unless it's USDA certified. Then it's 99.9. What does that little thing in there mean? I don't know, but that's what we look for, and hoping that it's true. If it just says organic on it, then it could be 90%, it could be up to 96%. You got to look where it's from and all kinds of stuff on the packaging. Okay. So the United States, sadly, is completely out of lockstep of the rest of the world. See, the United States continues to permit the use of tens of millions of pounds of pesticides that have been banned in the European Union, all over Europe. Can't even use these. Do you know on an Italian website that we were looking on, that talks about pesticides in Italy? Do you know what it said? It said pesticides are banned, and if you want to get rid of your weeds, at the same time you can lose weight, go to your lawn and pull them yourself. I loved that. I said to Dennis, can we move to Italy? Wow. It was crazy. So they're banned in European Union. China bans them. Most of South America. All of Mexico. So neurotoxins in the food supply. That's what these are. Okay? They have brain damaging chemicals like, I can't even pronounce it, chlorpyrifos. And the JAMA Neurology Study, look up JAMA, J-A-M-A, said that this causes lasting childhood brain abnormalities. They even hinted at autism. See, everybody's thinking this is autism. Look over here, not over there. Why do you think? Let me just say this, okay? This is free. Why do you think that they don't, if you say vaccine now, YouTube doesn't take you down? I believe, I don't press my luck, so I still do this. But I believe it's because it's a sleight of hand. Because people are now waking up to pesticides, and that could be kid. Like I said, your child is crawling on the ground. You know, they're everywhere where there's pesticides. So what you're going to tell me is that it's this that they're getting? That's the only thing? No. Could it exacerbate? Sure. Could it be part of it? Sure. I believe pesticides is the bigger issue. And the JAMA Neurology Study says the same thing. Causes weaker motor skills. Later development in children. Risk of Parkinson's disease when they get older. It's incredible. Look, even though the EPA banned chlorpyrifos on some foods, the lobbyists went nuts and the companies started with their litigation. But non-food uses, like on golf courses and cotton fields, and they still can use it. So, hence, where we live, we're surrounded by golf courses. My pesticide levels is in the red zone. Heavy metals down, funguses down. Not pesticides, not herbicides. Nope, through the roof. And I'm going to have to take it again in about 4 or 5 months before we move. I want to see where it is, and then I'll take it after we move. So let me just give you a couple. Paraquat and atrazine. Okay, atrazine is very known. highly toxic herbicides like paraquat banned in Europe and China over links to Parkinson's disease. Legal. U.S. agriculture says it's found everywhere and it's fine. You are not going to get sick from that. And if you are, during this administration, they passed that you cannot sue the companies anymore. For you claim glyphosate did this to you, you're not allowed to sue. Just a little thing there. So atrazine, found in massive percentage of U.S. drinking water supplies, remains legal despite overwhelming evidence tying it to birth defects, infertility, and hormone disruption. So here's what they do. Yeah, can you imagine, Esther? China, of all places, it's banned. China. The government calculates, listen to this is incredible. The government calculates consumer risk based on assuming the ideal assumption, okay, that farm workers, landscapers, and consumers read everything on those big bottles and adhere to everything. Like I said, we know hardly no one reads those labels. Landscapers are going to read those labels? Are you kidding me? And state enforcement agencies are not allowed to question, like I told you. And I believe it's like 40 states. I have a daughter that's dealing with a serious disease because of this stuff. I don't know how to follow that up. While the environmental and health harm of pesticides are well known, people know it. Even people who aren't into it know it. They damn well know it. They do nothing. So here's what they say. Oh, the farmers won't be able to grow their crops without them. What did they do all those years? Well, a new groundbreaking 10-year study in France just came out. Could someone send this to the EPA? It just came out. Doesn't matter. It's not even going to matter. Not even going to matter. My concern is you. My concern is the end consumer. That's what God has called us to enlighten you, to help save you and your children and your grandchildren. So it came out, just came out. Dennis sent it to me yesterday, just came out. 10-year study in France. Most pesticide-free farms in France reached equivalent levels of production of crops, and in some cases even exceeded them. For instance, National Agronomic and Environment Research Institute, INRAE, had a goal to check everything, use zero pesticides, okay? And did not use like praying mantis and put those in so they would eat the bugs that are causing problems. They didn't even use any of that. All they said is that to do this, just rotate your crops every 5 to 9 years. And they had nothing. At the Auzeville, A-U-Z-E-ville farm, it's a pesticide-free wheat production, actually exceeded their yields not using pesticides. Bottom line, this is what France said. We don't need toxic pesticide. Anyone that's telling you that our farms and food systems would collapse without toxic chemicals is misinformed, or they're outright lying to you. So I spent enough time on that. Let's look at the answers, okay? this is what we use. This is green. It looks, it's, see, you can see my wall through this because this is green. And I don't understand why, because I don't have my green screen up. But it's a green bottle. It's got green writing, okay? Veggie wash, USDA organic, fruit and vegetable wash. Removes waxes pesticides in soil. So what I do is, for example, I'll buy, now I know you can use baking powder, you can use vinegar, apple cider vinegar, you can use a lot of things. We love this, okay? We stand by it, use it for many years now. And what I do, like for example, we'll buy, we don't buy, if it's not organic, it's just, we live in an area where we have a few different supermarkets and local farms that we can buy organic. So we do. But even with like the grapes and strawberries, I'm going to butcher, part of the dirty dozen I'm going to tell you about. Grapes, and I got it, we get this on Amazon, which is another whole thing I'm going to talk to you about with Amazon. But that's not for today. That's for hopefully next week. What we do is, like, I love grapes. Grapes are like my fave. It's got major antioxidants in them. Strawberries and what else do I get? Like blackberries, blueberries. I put this. It'll tell you how much, okay? And I get a big bowl, and I put that much in the bottom, and I fill it up with 3/4 of the way, and I put in all the fruit, and I let it soak for like 10, 15 minutes, okay? I keep turning it over, make sure it's all, and then I rinse it. I rinse it out, and then I fill it up with regular water. Now, our water is filtered, okay? And then we use that to wash and to boil food and things, but it's filtered. Then we filter that water again through our triple osmosis, and that's the water we drink, okay? But this water is good. It's filtered. So then we rinse it up. I rinse it off. I drain it again, and then I rinse it, let it sit, soak. I rinse it again. Then when I'm eating the fruit, not all the fruit, but when I'm eating grapes, I literally, every grape, I wipe off with a paper towel as well. This is how crazy we have gotten. And you have to. You have to. The Environmental Working Group, EWG, okay? It's a nonprofit organization. It analyzes pesticide residue. They have data, and they collect. It's collected by the USDA, U.S. Department of Agriculture. Look, if you've got a trust, a government agency, which I don't, but if you have to, the USDA is the one you trust. They actually do checks on these things, and this is one of them, okay? So it's called the Environmental Working Group, and they did collect data from the USDA, and every year they publish 2 shopping lists, okay? So this one's from 2025. I couldn't find the one from 2026, but you can look it up yourself. Look, if you can spend the money and the extra money on organic, it's not that much anymore, actually, unless you go to Whole Foods, which is really high. But you can get them at a lot of grocery stores. But this will make a difference, okay? This is called the Dirty Dozen, okay? And the Dirty Dozen, Mom Taz, you're absolutely right. The blood of Jesus. Plead the blood of Jesus over yourself and your family. But you also have to, and I'll talk about that later, my people perish for lack of knowledge. You got to kind of balance them, but you pray. I have a new revelation about praying over food. Mom Taz, thank you for that. So this is called the Dirty Dozen, okay? This is the list. This is the highest pesticide residue. Spinach, strawberries. I'm going to just go through this. You can go back and make a list later. Kale, collard, and mustard greens. So all those greens. Grapes, peaches, cherries, nectarines, pears, apples, blackberries, blueberries, and potatoes. Now, if you're going to spend money on organic, spend it on those. But here's what you should do. For example, apples, pears, peaches, even organic, peel them. Then after you soak them, you do all your stuff, and then you peel them. But if you're going to spend extra money on organic, go back, rewind this, write it down, and that's the Dirty Dozen. The Clean 15, okay? This has the lowest pesticide residues of any foods. And you can eat these, but again, if you peel them, it's better. But the lowest, pineapples, sweet corn. Now you can understand why. They have some of these, some you won't, but others you see they've got a coating or an outer layer. Pineapple, sweet corn, avocados, papaya, onion, see all that outer layer? Frozen sweet peas, frozen sweet peas, organic. We eat organic frozen sweet peas. That's what we eat. Asparagus. You may want to just shave off a little bit of that top in the stem. Cabbage, again, take off the outer layers. Watermelon, cauliflower, clean though. These are the cleanest ones. Bananas, mangoes, carrots, mushrooms, and kiwi. So you got the Dirty Dozen, the Clean 15. Those are the ones that you should make lists of. Stick it on your refrigerator, put it on your grocery list. These Clean 15 are the foods that many people feel they can trust conventional. You're peeling them, but still remember, you have to wash your produce well. Rinsing water. Residue, look, the pesticide residue sticks. It's sticky. They make it that way. Do you understand? So that the pests don't go near it. A soft brush helps. Like conventional, if you buy conventional, not organic, you get a fruit brush. They actually have them on Amazon, a vegetable brush. And if you do that on your, zucchini and do that. And there are also rinses like I showed you, you can buy. There's a baking soda soak. Okay, the University of Massachusetts found that baking soda solution removed certain pesticides, not all of them, but certain ones from apples more effectively than water alone. But again, you can peel an apple. So what would it be? It'd be like 1 to 2 teaspoons in 2 cups of water. Okay, soak it for about 12 to 15 minutes. Then rinse it afterwards. Okay, some people use vinegar and water, same kind of thing. Buy organic for the Dirty Dozen if you can. Peel when you can. Okay, sometimes peeling reduces the residue. The problem is that you also use, you lose the fiber and you lose the nutrients. So it's a trade-off, risk reward. That's what we live in. Filter your drinking water, depending on where you live, and an activated carbon or reverse osmosis system reduces almost all the contaminants. Although no single filter removes everything. That's why we use triple osmosis. Got 3 filters. Check the filter is certified for the contaminants of concern in your area. Go online. I live in, Spokane, Washington. What is in my water? Then find filters that will get rid of that. I still wouldn't drink it, but then you can use it to cook with. You know what I'm saying? So how do you detox pesticides? Drink half your body weight in ounces of water a day. You weigh 200 pounds, drink 100 ounces of pure water. You weigh 150 pounds, drink 75 ounces of pure water a day. Eat plenty of fiber to support natural, normal elimination. Vegetables, cruciferous, like broccoli, Brussels sprouts, cabbage, cauliflower. They contain things that are involved in the body's natural detoxification process. Get enough protein. And that doesn't mean if you're a vegetarian, you can eat rice and beans. You can eat a fava bean soup. You can you can make Ezekiel bread. It has all the amino acids, all whole protein. If you're going to eat beef, I'm a member of Melaleuca, and I get it from Riverbend Ranch because it's grass fed. I don't eat a lot. I eat a little bit, but that's what I do. Exercise regularly, even if you have to sit in a chair. Do your arms, do your legs. Prioritize sleep. So, lastly, if you can use a sauna, man, the sauna has really changed our life. It's really, really changed our life. At least you start getting the effects at 115 degrees. Best is 125 or 130, 135 for 30 minutes. But you got to remember, your skin is the largest organ in your body. And I don't sweat. Like, I never sweat my whole life. Now, after 6 months, 8 months of using a sauna, now I'm beginning to sweat. So what's happening is things are detoxing in my body. Please remember, the minute you get out of that sauna and you get home, you take a shower. Okay. There are supplements and drinks. Be careful with detoxing. Some things will not detox if you're stuck. It's called the funnel effect. Actually, it's the reverse funnel effect. You put things in, and if your body is not healthy enough to detox it, binders and things like that, it only make you sicker. And a binder is a detox binder, is a substance that stays in your gut, okay, and attaches to waste products or toxic substances before they pass through. But then you got to be careful. Some binders are so strong, they'll rob your body of nutrients. Be very, very careful and start with them very gently, okay, and a very mild one. On a personal note, for a personal moment, a lot of people ask me why I spend so much time reading reports and studies, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. I am a firm believer in stewardship. God has given Dennis and I people like yourselves that we feel we have to give the truth to, even if and it's cost us a lot of viewers and a lot of everything because of it. We believe in stewarding finances correctly, which is why we don't use the money that comes in donations and through things like when we had Join Country and LifeWave, and buy a home. We were given it to steward. We were also given our bodies to steward. And stewardship of our bodies matter. God gave us one body, not two. We don't get to do a redo. Taking care of it isn't fear. It's gratitude. So today isn't about fear. It isn't about panicking. This isn't about believing every headline. It's about discernment. Okay? It always comes down to fear and discernment. And there's a verse that has become more meaningful to me over the years and even recently, is Proverbs 27:12. It says, "The prudent, which is the wise, see danger and take refuge, but the simple keep going and pay the penalty." God never criticized wisdom, and you pray for it, you'll get it. He encourages it. Faith doesn't mean ignoring information. There's a balance. Faith means walking with God and applying wisdom. And if you can't do the things I suggest, man, you lean on the arm of the everlasting Father. That's what you do. Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Knowledge alone doesn't save us. It doesn't. But it can literally kill us. 1 Corinthians 6:19-20. Your body's a temple of the Holy Spirit. Stewardship of that body God entrusted to you is very, very important. If any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God. Romans 12:2. Do not be conformed to this world. Sometimes the world's assumptions, what the world says is safe, what the world, EPA, the FDA says is okay, deserves examination. Look, I don't profess to know every answer. You guys know I close with this a lot. But I do know this. God never asked us to live in fear. He asked us to walk in wisdom. He asks us to gain knowledge. Because if we don't, it could really be perishing for us. Read labels. Pray for discernment. Take care of the body God entrusted to you. And remember, being informed isn't fear. It's stewardship. Anyway, that's off the cuff for today. All I want to do is I got a couple minutes. I'll take a few questions. 3 question marks. And your question. 14 military, one final note. People are very particular with what they feed their pets, but not what they feed themselves. Wow. Very true. Easy access. It's great to have a water meter to measure your water. That will tell you a story. It helped me discover that my newly filtered reserve osmosis was missing a part. Wow. Okay. Good air purifiers. Synergy B. Great. Queen Esther, I do eat seedless grapes. Those are the ones I eat, only organic, washed many, many times. Let's see. Any other questions? Grapes are part of the dirty dozen, Esther. It's my go-to. I love it. It's emotional for me. You have to understand, my father made wine for many years, and we always had grapes in the house, and different grapes, and it's an emotional thing for me. You know, I was 5 years old, and I would get a shot glass full of homemade red wine every night for dinner. I mean, my parents are immigrants, you know. I'm first generation American. That's what they did. That's what they did. I wish they spoke Italian in the house. They didn't, because they were, my father especially was trying to learn English. And so I only know, curses and things like that. I mean, I can understand it. I just can't speak it as well. Veggie Wash, just ordered 3 for $20 on Amazon. Wow. Awesome. Very good as well, Island Girl. Okay. It isn't a dry or wet sauna. It's a red light sauna, Cindy. I actually go to, they have them all over the country, Perspire, Perspire. If you go there, tell them I sent you. Maybe I'll get a free month. I don't know. And I think that's it. Okay, so I'm going to probably get off here. For those of you that didn't do it yet, sign up. Get the first chapter free. Go to thegatheringmovement.org and go to the on top Unchained Soul sign up, and it will you'll get the first chapter August 24th. Thank you, Karen. And then the 31st we'll do a webinar reading what she's posting. And yes. And that way We'll get together on the 31st. It'll be awesome. I believe September 15th, the Tuesday, that's when it will drop. I'm going to talk to you guys about that the night we all get together as well. Yes, Karen, taking back our health. Thank you. That's become our major fundraiser, but another one is in the works. So I'm trying. Definitely want to make sure we keep going what we keep going. You know, we give to a lot of places, and we don't want to ever stop doing there. Yeah, near red and far red light, different detox levels. Yeah. Yeah. Solomon's Porch. Okay. So you know, thank you, West Virginia Mountain Mommy. Reminded me. I'm not on TikTok anymore. No, I shouldn't say that. I shouldn't say that. I am on TikTok. I just not going to be doing. I may do a live. So if you're on there, stay. I may do a live and we'll still chat and have fun. And it's, you know, it's fun. But I'm not going to be doing what I was hoping was going to be maybe a way I could make up the difference with Solomon's, with Joy and Country. And it's not going to work out. They're tyrants over there. And they are, they're tyrants. I am telling you. I was like, I sat with Dennis this morning and we were talking. I said, you're not going to believe what they get. I mean, I'm on the last 3 days. I'm trying to do what they tell me to do. And they're giving me strikes. I can't. I'm not going to turn into a live seller. I'm not going to do that stuff. I'm not doing it. So, I may do it on another place. I don't know. I'm not doing it on there. That ain't happening. I'm gone. So I have a big thing about eggplant parm tomorrow. If you go over there, it's cancel. Things that are continued. The Gathering Movement. Island Girl. So until next time, don't get clocked by the talk. No, TikTok's not the same. It isn't. No, I'm not going to be on, Queen Esther. I'm not going to be on tomorrow. I just put a thing up that said canceled. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I'm like, I'm done. That's it. Cuckoo no more for me. Finished. But I'll go over I'm not going to do it tomorrow, but I'll go over and I'll do a live, and I don't even know, maybe I'll just jump on at some point. And you guys, if you see me, you jump on. But I'm not doing it. Shirley Vestine, just invite us all over for dinner. You don't know how I wish I could do that. You say that funny. I love this stuff. And somebody's calling me. I'm sorry, Esther. I'm sorry. I was looking forward to it too, but I don't want to. I don't want to. Well, I'm going to Mom Taz, I got something in the works I'm going to find out about today in the next couple of days. I can't do it on YouTube because I can't attach things that I eat. And so you guys can go, yeah, I'd love to try that. I'd love to try that oil. I can't do that on YouTube. That's the problem. So anyway, Karen, thank you for saying that. There is no Around the Table on Friday. I'm seeing you're posting it. Jenna has a whole big thing going on. We're walking down the road with this, and we will be there with her. And I can't not do that. So just please keep her in prayer. And we're trying to move in different directions, and we'll see what's going on. Yeah, Island Girl, I know. But see, the problem is, Island Girl, I'm trying to raise funds to take the place of Joy and Country for the Gathering Movement. We want to still be able to do things, and we can't unless I can attach stuff and say, hey, if you get this, I make a percentage. You get that. I can't do it on YouTube. That's the problem. Anyway, love you all. Thank you for being who you are. Thank you for praying. Thank you for just being you. I don't know what else to say. I feel like I have all of you. You're all my friends. And when I talked to you on the phone for LifeWave, I talked to a friend yesterday. It's like I know you guys forever. It's just absolutely wonderful. So thank you for hanging with me. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for putting up with things that you don't agree with me. Because after all, we don't agree with everything. But thanks, Jan. I try, my friend. Um, anyway, love you all. And until we see you on Sunday on Solomon's Porch, oh, you don't want to miss it. Go in the power of God. Love you. Have a great week.